Hi, it's Mark Donnigan, host of the Marketing Execution Podcast. Are you one of those startups trying to chase multiple strengths at once? If so, take note. The companies that win are the ones that double down on one superpower. Today, we're breaking down how B2B companies can identify their unique advantage and turn it into real market dominance. Having helped dozens of tech startups scale their go-to market engines, I've seen this pattern show up over and over again. Here's our conversation on how to build your startup's superpower.
Tune in, listen up, it's marketing time. Bright ideas sparking, growing your mind. From strategies to big exec dreams. Catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing combo.
Welcome to the Marketing Execution Podcast. This is the show for tech founders and leaders building B2B products and technologies. We show you how to go further, faster to get the business results you need.
From strategies to big exec dreams. Catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing combo.
In the startup world, we throw around terms like moat and unique selling propositions so much that they've kind of lost their meaning. It feels like this old school static idea, like you build a castle and a moat and then you just defend it.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it. It's a very passive concept, right? And now passive means you're dead. You're just waiting for someone to build a bigger trebuchet or a bridge.
Exactly. So I've been searching for a more dynamic way to think about it. How do the companies that really break out, the ones that become legends, how do they create an advantage that actually grows and evolved with them?
Now you're asking the right question. It's not about a moat. It's about building a superpower. And I'm not just using a buzzword here. A superpower in this context is an integrated set of capabilities. It's not one thing. It's how multiple things work together in harmony to create something nobody else can replicate.
Okay, integrated. So not just a single feature.
Not just a single feature. That's the key mistake most founders make. They think their one clever algorithm is their advantage. Look at Spotify. Their superpower isn't just their giant music library, and it's not just their recommendation algorithm. It's the library, plus the algorithm, plus the user experience design, plus their data analytics, plus all of it working together to create this deeply personal, almost magical listening experience. That is a superpower. It's a system.
Wow. Okay, so when you frame it like that, it feels almost impossible. That how does a founder with a small team and limited cash even begin to build a whole system like that?
It's a process, and there's actually a framework for it. I call it the SUMMIT method. It's an acronym, SUMMIT, but forget the letters for a second. The first step is the one everyone thinks they know, but they usually only go halfway. It starts with your strength.
Right, what you're good at.
Kinda. It's what you are or can be better at than anyone else in the world. And you have to be brutally honest about it. Look, Zoom is the classic example. Eric Yuan knew from his time at WebEx that the world didn't need another video conferencing tool. It needed one that just worked reliably every single time. Simple interface, rock solid audio and video. That was their strength. They didn't try to be a whole collaboration suite at first. They were obsessed with that one thing.
Okay, so that's the Ascent Summit. Find your obsessive strength.
Exactly. But here's where the magic really begins. The U is for unification. This is the part that so many startups miss. You have to align your entire company, your vision, your strategy, your hiring, your marketing, everything around amplifying that one strength.
So it's not enough to just be good at it.
Not at all. It has to become your religion. Tesla's strength is in engineering and battery tech, right? But their unifying vision is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. That vision dictates that they make cars, yes, but also solar panels and energy storage. It unifies every product decision and gives them this coherent, powerful brand story. It became a movement, and that's unification.
Fair.
That connects the soft stuff like vision directly to the hard product stuff. I like that.
It is the hard stuff. The next piece is mindset, the culture you build. Google's 20% time is famous, but it's not really about the policy. It's about the mindset it created, a culture that gives employees permission to experiment, to be curious, to build things just because they're interesting. That mindset is directly responsible for products like Gmail. It's a superpower. But again, a mindset is useless without the M for mechanics.
And mechanics is the plumbing, the process?
The plumbing, I love that. It's the processes and systems that let you execute your superpower at scale. You can have the most innovative mindset in the world, but if your systems crash and you can't deliver, you're toast. Amazon's superpower is its logistics. It's a marvel of mechanics, robotic warehouses, predictive analytics, insane delivery networks. That's a superpower built on relentlessly optimizing the plumbing. We talk about this stuff all the time on the Marketing Execution podcast because without the mechanics, your great ideas just stay ideas.
So you need the innovative mindset of Google, but also the operational excellence, the mechanics of Amazon. They sound like they're almost in opposition to each other.
They can be, and that's the tension you have to manage, which leads perfectly to I, innovation. Your superpower cannot be static. The market will catch up. You have to continuously evolve it. Look at Netflix. They started with DVDs by mail. Their superpower was logistics and selection. Then they saw streaming coming, and they cannibalized their own cash cow to build a new superpower in streaming technology.
And then they did it again with original content.
Yes, they did it again. They knew their streaming advantage would eventually erode as competitors like Disney and HBO entered the market. So they built a new adjacent superpower in content creation. That willingness to constantly innovate, even when it means disrupting yourself, is critical. And that's what leads to the final letter, T, for transformation.
This is where you change the whole industry.
You changed the world. Well, maybe just your industry. Airbnb didn't just make a booking website. Their superpower was creating trust between strangers. By perfecting that system with reviews, verified IDs, insurance, they transformed the entire hospitality industry. They unlocked an inventory of rooms that didn't even exist before. That's the ultimate goal of a superpower. It's not just to win, it's to change the game entirely.
Mark, this is incredible. The whole summit framework, it really reframes the goal from just beating competitors to building something truly enduring. But it feels so big. I'm thinking about the pre-seed founder listening to this. Maybe they have 3 people and a bit of angel money. How does this apply to them when they're just fighting to survive another month?
That is the question, isn't it? Because it's easy to talk about Tesla and Amazon when they're giants standing on mountains of cash. But for that founder with 3 people in a garage, yeah, this whole framework can sound like a lecture on building a spaceship when you're just trying to keep your canoe from sinking.
Exactly. They're worried about patching the holes, not planning a trip to Mars.
Right. But here's the thing, and this is the most important part. Summit isn't a checklist you have to complete on day 1. It's not a map with 1,000 turns. For a pre-seed founder, it's a compass. That's it. It just points north.
A compass. Okay, I like that. So you're not trying to follow every single road. You're just making sure every step you take is generally in the right direction.
You nailed it. And for that tiny startup, north is just the S for strength. That is their entire world. The other letters, unification, mindset, they're just there to keep you from wandering off into the woods. The only question that matters at that stage is, what is the one thing we are going to be obsessively, painfully, ridiculously good at?
So you're saying is actually a tool for saying no.
It is the tool for saying no. I mean, think about it. One of the killers of early stage companies is running out of money because they run out of focus. They try to do too much. I know of a SaaS company, brilliant team. They were building a project management tool. A potential customer said, "We'll sign a big contract if you add invoicing." So they did. Then another said, "We need time tracking." So they built that.
Oh man, I can see where this is going.
A year later, they had the Swiss Army knife where all the tools were dull. They were okay at project management, okay at invoicing, okay at time tracking. They weren't great at anything. And they got crushed by competitors who were absolutely brilliant at just one of those things. They died because they said yes too many times.
That fear of missing out is so real though. You get one piece of feedback from one potential big customer and it feels like you have to pivot the whole roadmap right then and there.
It's founder poison. The Superpower framework for an early team is a world-changing superpower on day one. It's about survival. It's about not building weaknesses. It's a defensive strategy that forces you to allocate your tiny amount of resources, your time, your money, your brain power, with extreme prejudice.
I'll see what you mean. It's less about becoming Airbnb and more about just not dying because you tried to be Airbnb and a hotel chain and a car rental service all at once.
Yes, that's it. That's why this matters. You're not building the skyscraper yet. You're pouring the concrete for the single massive pillar that will someday hold the whole thing up. And that U for unification, for that tiny team, it's just a simple filter. Every conversation, every potential hire, every feature request gets asked the same question. Does this make our one strength stronger? If the answer is no, or even maybe, you don't do it. Period.
That's a powerful filter because it simplifies every decision. It removes the emotion and the panic.
It has to. You don't have the luxury of making unfocused bets. Every dollar, every hour you spend on something that doesn't amplify your core strength is a dollar and an hour you've stolen from your own survival. So why this matters to that pre-seed founder is because it's the thing that will keep them in the game long enough to even think about mindset or transformation. It's the foundation. Without it, everything else is just wishful thinking.
Okay, I'm sold. It's a compass, not a checklist. It's about ruthless focus. So let's get practical. If I'm that founder, sitting here today with my co-founders, what's the first conversation we need to have? What's step one, minute one of actually putting this into practice?
Tim, you're right. Ideas are great, but execution is everything. Talk is cheap. So let's get into how people can actually use this stuff. What do you do on Monday morning?
I love this. Let's get our hands dirty. So that founder and her co-founders are in a room with a whiteboard. What is the absolute first thing they write down?
The first thing they do is talk. And I want them to answer one question, just one. Not what's your TAM, not what's your 5-year vision. The question is, what is the one pain we solve better than anyone else in one sentence?
One sentence? That sounds simple, but I bet it's brutally hard.
It's the hardest thing they'll do because it forces you to be honest. If it takes you a paragraph to explain it, you don't have a superpower. You have a bunch of features. Think about Stripe. Their initial strength wasn't online financial infrastructure. It was, we make it painfully easy for a developer to accept a payment. Boom. One sentence.
And that simplicity is what cuts through the noise. But what if a team is struggling? What if they have 2 or 3 things they think they're good at?
Then you have to pick one to be great at. You have to be willing to be just okay at the others for now. This isn't forever. It's for survival. This leads to the second thing you do. I call it the unification filter meeting.
Okay, I'm listening.
You take that one sentence you all agreed on, your S for strength, and you write it at the top of the whiteboard. Then you list every single thing you're working on, every feature on the roadmap, every marketing campaign, everything.
Uh-oh. I have a feeling I know where this is going.
Yep. You go down the list one by one and you ask a simple question for each item. Does this make our core strength stronger? Not, is this a good idea? Not, did a customer ask for it? But does it pour gasoline on our main fire? If the answer is anything but a hell yes, you cross it off the list.
That's ruthless. You're telling founders to kill their darlings, to actually remove things from the roadmap.
100%. It's subtraction, not addition. Zoom is the perfect example. When they started, the world did not need another video conferencing tool. WebEx existed, but Eric Yuan knew the core pain was reliability and ease of use. It was a mess.
Oh, I remember. You needed a PhD to launch a meeting back then.
Exactly. So every decision they made was filtered through that strength. Does this new feature make it easier to join a call? Does this engineering choice make the video more reliable even on a bad connection? If not, it didn't get done. They didn't add a fancy whiteboard tool or complex project management features at first. They just made the core product ridiculously stable. That was their superpower.
So the practical step is to define the one-sentence strength and then use that sentence as a filter to ruthlessly cut everything that doesn't support it.
That's the game. It's not about having the most features. It's about having the one feature that your ideal customer cannot live without. Get that right, and everything else, the U for unification, the M for mindset, it all starts to fall into place because everyone on the team knows what North is. They know what the real job is.
This is so clear, Mark. So before we wrap up, can you just pull this all together for us? Give us the 1, 2, 3 summary of everything we've talked about today.
Okay, absolutely. Stop thinking about a static moat and start building a superpower. It's not one thing, it's a whole system of strengths that work together, making you impossible to copy. We laid out the Summit framework as a guide, but for an early founder, it's just a compass. It points to your one core strength. That's it. Your only job is to obsess over that one thing because focus is survival. And the way you do that is by defining that strength in a single sentence and then using it as a ruthless filter to say no. That's how you stay in the game.
That's perfect. Mark, after all this talk about frameworks and filters, if a founder forgets every single letter of Summit tomorrow, what's the one gut feeling you hope they never forget?
Your job is not to build what customers ask for. It's to build the one thing they can't imagine living without. Don't be a feature factory. Be essential. That is a superpower. The Marketing Execution Podcast is produced by Growth Stage Marketing. We are on a mission to see your company reach wild success using marketing pods.
Too big, accept dreams. Catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Thank you for listening and being a part of the Marketing Execution movement and community. To learn how growth stage marketing clients reach more buyers and drive business impact, go to growthstage.marketing. That's growthstage.marketing.